What is up, internet friends? Today we'll be continuing our streak of reviewing games developed by Gust and published by parent company Koei Tecmo. The game in question today is none other than Blue Reflection. It has a sequel on the horizon, so I thought I might as well give you my thoughts on the title. If this sounds up your alley, consider subscribing to join the fastest growing YouTube channel when measured by credit card debt. Part high school sim, part extra-dimensional demon slaying, and all turn-based jrpg, Blue Reflection isn't an unheard of formula. Let's see if it does enough to stand out from the crowd. If you come in expecting a cheap Persona knockoff, you'd be forgiven. Honestly, for the first 3 acts, the game does a really poor job of dissuading you of that notion. It's not until the first boss at the end of Act 3 where you get a glimpse of what makes Blue Reflection special. More on that later. Right now, I want to take a moment to talk about the game's sound design. So, I actually had to stop writing the script and play some more because I honestly, for the life of me, could not remember what the music and sound effects sounded like. So I don't want to say Blue Reflection has a forgettable soundtrack, even though it is literally the case, at least for me, because forgettable has a negative connotation, and I don't want to give that impression. The music isn't bad, it's not. The gentle piano, tinkling melodiously as you walk around the school in your free time talking to your classmates, making friends, as well as social commitments, it's very fitting. It sounds like the gentle, unobtrusive background music you'd hear at a dinner party. I like it. Just don't expect the snappy jazz from Persona 5 or the battle music from Final Fantasy. Graphically, Blue Reflection alternates between looking inexplicably dated and surprisingly vibrant and pleasant to behold. I say dated because the game never looks bad. It's mainly the school portions that look flat, with jaggy edges to the character models. I'm a huge fan of JRPGs, and I've played many amazing ones like Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky that started their life as humble handheld titles, so I can deal with it, but it's something to be aware of. Oddly enough, the battles that take place in the Common, I'll cover what that means in the next section, actually look really good. I think it's a combination of the fact that the worlds where you go to battle demons vary greatly based on the person that you're trying to help, and the fact that the girls transform out of their schoolgirl clothes into fantastical magical costumes every time they battle evil. The effects that accompany abilities are middle of the road, and enemies are at the very least unique. You won't see any slimes or goblins here. I like that. Blue Reflection is starting to stand out of the crowd and do its own thing, and that is never bad. Let's close things out with an overview of the world, some key mechanics I think define Blue Reflection and help it distinguish itself from other JRPGs, and a bit about the story. You play as Hinako, a girl who's just arrived at an all-girls high school. Your reputation precedes you a bit as you were kind of a big deal in the ballet scene before a nasty leg injury smashed your chances of becoming an international star. Hinako deals with this pain of the injury, both physical and emotional, on a daily basis, and it's a major driving force behind why she agrees to be a reflector. To understand what that means, we first need to peek at the need that is met by reflectors. When a person feels a strong enough emotion, they will go rampant. A glow will surround them, and the player characters must rally around and interact with the NPC to enter a pocket dimension created by the rampancy called the Common. In the Common, Hinako and friends will transform into colorfully dressed action heroes of sorts. They must then find the source of the disturbance and best it in combat, gaining an understanding of the strong emotion that led to this Common's creation. Look, I know it all sounds convoluted, but actually it becomes very interesting, and once it stops feeling odd to you, there'll be some emotional set pieces that actually wouldn't work as well in other fantasy settings. That's the story in a nutshell. The game world can generally be split into 2 categories. First, there's the Common, which is where you'll transform, you'll fight demons that are created by strong emotions. You'll spend the majority of major plot points in here fighting big baddies, but you can also enter at will for side quests called missions. How each section of the Common looks largely is based on the person whose psyche created it. For instance, if you needed to battle Todd Howard's demons, his slice of the Common would undoubtedly be Skyrim themed. Now let's discuss the real world. This consists of school, where you'll walk the grounds during free time, find girls to talk to, and take them out on the town. You'll fill friendship gauges here based on how you react to the girls. You might also bump into rampant characters as previously described, and a short side-questy trip to the Common might be just what the doctor ordered. Either of these scenarios will more often than not result in you acquiring that girl's fragment. Fragment, I hear you asking, what's that? Well, fragments are the system in this game that I actually think is the coolest system. Fragments are crystallized parts of a character's personality that can be affixed to battle skills to grant additional benefits like plus MP on hit or increased damage. Now imagine being able to weaponize your abrasive acquaintance's personality and be able to punch harder just by getting to know that person a little better. Through this method, you can shore up weaknesses or do like I do and make your tanks tankier, your damage dealers harder hitting, and your healers better at healing. The other part of the real world is home. After you've attended class, socialized, and possibly battled demons in the common, you'll return home where you can select how to pass the rest of your day. Studying might increase your MP, for instance. You can also take a bath and ponder the events of the day in the most fan-servicey way possible. All of this adds up to a pretty enjoyable experience, and I really think people should play this before hopping into Second Light. Until next time, I've been Septimus with the Grim Alliance, and you have been an amazing audience. I thank you.